your love.
What's up? It's your boy, bro, Troy.
Kurt.
We are the Bro Code. Man, you know, bro, we have this new segment now, right? And, you know, oftentimes we're sitting on these chairs with the guest, and most times it's about their story. But this ReHas segment, this is an opportunity for our audience, our listeners, those that are tapping into the Bro Code to learn a little bit more about our who, what, why. So on this episode of the ReHas, we're going to hit on a few things. We're going to hit on fatherhood from our experience, and also partnerships and what's next. What are some of the legs that are coming from these courageous conversations that we call the Bro Code and that Bro Code experience? But, you know, as, you know, servant leaders, but more importantly as fathers, man, I really would love to hear from you, bro Kurt. You're a girl dad, right? You know, you've got three daughters, man. Like, talk about that a little bit, man. One, you started early, right? You potentially could have, or maybe did, I don't know, fallen into the cracks or been exposed to things that comes with having children at a very early age, you know. But here you are now, your daughters are grown, they're doing great things. You get a chance to see some of those seeds that were planted and them actually coming to fruition. So talk to us about that, man. How does that hit for you?
So first of all, I love being a father. I have 4 children. My son is the oldest, but 3 daughters, man. And to answer your question, I would not be the man that I am, first of all, for the experience of raising daughters or raising kids. But secondly, on the back end of right now, they all live in Charlotte. So spending time with them down there, man, I'm seeing that there are some things, first of all, that I did well. But I'm in actually a reparenting phase right now, too, of some of the things that I missed. But there's something different about a father and his daughter. There's a different relationship, and it really, I want them to be proud of me. So a lot of the work we do now, there's a little small part of it that is like, hey, dad is doing things that he needs to do to make his daughters or his kids proud.
And really sharing that importance of why giving back, you know, is something that we should all strive to be more important in our lives. Like for me, my daughter's 12, and we live in a blended family. So me and my wife have been together for, man, get this one wrong, don't hurt me, baby. It's been at least a dub. Unfortunately, when I was about 20, 21 years young. Young, dumb, and full of cum, bro. Like, really hadn't list more so of the growth part of me, and was just living in the moment about what it is that I could survey.
I can see that.
And it was about me, man. There was a lot of selfishness, and still working some of those things out, man. It's an evolving matter. But I had my baby girl, she's 12 now, so I can honestly say she really helped a lot of what I start to slow down a little bit more, because it wasn't about me anymore, right? It was, my decision making was affecting, you know, more than just me, and wanting to be that somewhat of, I guess you could say, that example, right? To say that, you know, I want to leave this a whole lot better than it was, and you know, how can I plant seeds that are positive in this young child's life? You know, me and her mother never were together outside of having a child together, and really navigating those challenges all by themselves, bro. Like really trying to figure out the responsibility of not just my daughter, but the respect level to make sure that she has what she needs. You know, and those are waters that I wasn't really prepared for, man, to be honest with you, bro. I wasn't, man. And handled them, I like to believe, with grace, but with a lot of mistakes. You know, a lot of mistakes, even somewhat of regret, bro. So at the end of the day, I appreciate fatherhood. I appreciate what it has added to my life, what it has stretched and made me hold myself accountable for, and still continues to do that. I have an older son. Tyson just turned 16, bro.
He looking at me in the face.
I'm not tall, so he's taller than me, right?
He was like right here.
Man. And again, we talk about that blended family. I'm the only father that he's known since he was 2, and really taking that responsibility to say that, you know, hey, I'm not with the whole step thing. Nah, this is someone I'm responsible for. It's my son, right? Absolutely. At the end of the day, and you know, really learning to navigate that, bro, because he's 16. He's not naive. He knows his last name is different than mine. kids are cruel, so they're gonna bring it up. I've been in the midst of it where they do, and really having those courageous conversations and maybe sometimes uncomfortable conversations to let him know that I'm here in support for him.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, and different, good, bad, or ugly, man. So I appreciate Fatherhood bringing that up. So Troy Jermaine Johnson, I'm Bro Troy, and I appreciate how that has looked in our life, man. So
What's cool too is I watch your son. I just saw him the other day, but I watch him as he's watching you serve other young men. And there's this level of respect that you don't see it because you're in it. I'm watching from back. I'm like, wow, he has to be thankful for that. And he saw you do that for how many years?
I mean, that's how Y4C started, man. He was being bullied in school. And Mama Bear, my wife, was like, if you don't do something, I will. And I didn't want the I will part, man. I know about that I will. I ain't wanting that I will. So, not much a big black man can do at the bus stop. He still had to go to school. So I took it a step further and went to the school. But long or the short, man, amended that relationship over Bojangles and fries.
Yeah.
Chicken and fries. And, you're absolutely right. I'll never forget the day we started Y4C, and he came to me right after it started and was like, Dad, I have friends now. I appreciate you. And that wasn't the why, right? But to know that was birthed out of it, and some of those friendships that he talks about, he's right there with him, right? The Cartiers and the Chances and some of the other kids that have started with us since we started doing the service-driven work with Y4C since 2017, man. So for those that don't know, Y4C is a registered nonprofit organization. Education and physical creative projects that use sports, career development, and really push the envelope on critical thinking in our youth, which is missing. We focus on underserved youth in the Southeast Raleigh area, ages 7 to 17. So please check us out on ym4c.org. Go to @youngmen, all spelled out, Young Men, the number 4 Christ on IG, or just go to our website at www.ym4c.org. And don't be scared.
Come on.
Hit that donate button. Okay. We appreciate you, man. So last but not least, man, outside of partnerships, really establishing legs of this voice and this platform that we've created for the Bro Code Show. One of the ways that we're doing that is to always make sure that we collaborate all of the pieces of who we are as the Bro Code. One of those pieces is a movement, an idea that you can inspire others through positive words and imagery. And what I'm speaking of is the movement that you started with, You Matter. So tell us a little bit more about that, why it started and why it was important to you.
Absolutely. So I was in a classroom at Sanderson High School in Raleigh. Shout out to the Spartans and Dr. Dula, right? Yeah. Mr. Brown, assistant principal. But I was in a classroom mentoring, and one of the kids said something that was simple, and I said, "No, you matter." And the way his face looked, and the whole classroom shifted, and it's like, "No, we don't." And it was in that moment that I realized that was an important thing. I started using it, and it's funny. I started talking to adults and getting the same response. Where there's just a lot of people who just don't feel like they have value or worth. Yeah. And then I started making shirts and hoodies and hustling the merch. I love merch. Man, spread the message. Absolutely. But then one day something came up and it was like, wait a minute, $2 bills. And I started writing You Matter on them. I Googled because somebody said you can't do that. You can. Yeah. You can. And it came about to give out $1 million of them.
So talk to me now. So You Matter comes about, and now we're getting into how the $2 bill has become a piece of that.
Big piece.
Right? Yeah. So how did it become a piece of that, and how did you use that to spread that message?
So it's great, too. A lot of people it came about just for simple fact that not everybody needed merchandise, but there was a way that I could leave everything that I found, which we talk about this all the time, better than I found it. Right. And by just giving random people $2 bills, whether I catch them in the community, people who have done amazing things, and I just want to send them one in the mail and say, hey, I saw you. Yeah. Like, I love what you're doing. Here's this, and a little note, right? Because those kind of things matter. Right. But overall, Troy, it helps people remember how valuable they are, and so that's where that was birthed. And it's been, and you have one.
And what's the goal? Like, when you did it now, like, was it just to give them out, or is there a number involved? Like, what's the thought process behind the vision for that?
In my mind, and you know I'm a big thinker, sometimes way out, and people are like, yo, can you come back down? But I wanted to give out 1 million of them. And here's the thing. Here's what started to happen. People started donating and saying, hey, I want to give out 50. So they send me $100 and say, hey, I want to give out 50 to students or to adults. And that momentum, man, and that it became almost contagious.
I love the thought process so much so that now we've taken on that same persona demeanor in a way that we love on people here on the Bro Code Show.
Yeah.
Right. So now using that $2 bill in its rarity, right, and its uniqueness, and now using that for the guests that we invite onto the Bro Code Show for a fullness of the Bro Code Show experience. Using that $2 bill to promote their word, the word that they use to encourage themselves or to describe themselves, to now love on them. Now with that $2 bill, we're using that to promote a publication called $2 Worth of Game. Now, for all of our listeners and viewers, look forward to $2 Worth of Game in the first quarter of 2023, where it will be basically a collaborative of the thoughts, concerns, advice, tips on everyday living from those that we brought on the show, right? Of them giving them their $2 worth of game.
Now, between me, you, and JC, we could have wrote the book ourselves from the information that they serve. Why did you come up with the idea of including everybody that we've interviewed as a source of lived experience or whatever for that project?
Great question, man. So we talk about the code, the community, but even more importantly, the voice. And oftentimes the whole reason why you started You Matter is another example of $2 worth of game, meaning that people thought that they didn't matter. They didn't have a space where they can share their feelings and who they are and understanding that they matter. So this book now gives that space and opportunity for our guests to continue that conversation and add a little bit more of their perspective, almost Help 2.0, if you may, a help book 2.0, because we're talking about judges, lawyers, comedians, media personalities, entrepreneurs, coaches, individuals, professors, right? IT, right? College professors, right? Absolutely. So these are all people that, in some cases, people would want to connect with, or wonder more about, right? So sharing that perspective from a unique lens.
And you don't want to forget moms. Hold on now.
Yeah.
You don't want to forget moms, sure, because I'm still thinking about that. Shout out.
That was, man, when you have individuals that love what you do to a point where another segment on our show and calling them out, someone calls out their mom to be on the show. Shout out to the Chief of Police, Stella Patterson, man. That happened on her episode. You'll see that on episode about 19, right? So, nonetheless, man, we appreciate you guys checking into the Bro Code. We love the fact that you support us. For those that are supporting us, please continue to do such. The message amplifies by you sharing, right? The message amplifies by you liking and letting other people know that the messages that are happening and the conversations that are happening here on the Bro Code are important and people need to hear it. So help us, help everybody else by continuing to like, share, and comment. Go to @BroCodeShow, which is our Instagram, and follow the courageous conversations that we've had in the past, as well as look forward to upcoming episodes. Make sure to go to Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere other platform that you can get audio platforms to hear some of the information in the past, as well as our YouTube page, Bro Code TV Production. So other than that, look out for more episodes of the ReHas. Look out for more episodes of the Bro Code with more interesting, courageous conversations to amplify that voice. That's right. It's your boy, Bro Troy.
Bro Kurt.
And we are
Bro Code.
Yeah. So, all right, cool.
What's y'all?
When I know who gets your love.
This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free Take and Bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings. The Bros just got stronger. We've added a new member to the team, A. Ruth Proctor. The blonde bombshell herself will be hosting this new segment called The Proctor Report. This segment will share behind-the-scenes footage and engage questions from our listeners from a female point of view. Tap in to the Bro Code. Stay tuned for a new segment on the Bro Code show called The ReHas. You'll learn more about the bros personally and what drives them as men and community leaders. The ReHas will be available on YouTube and all audio podcast platforms every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tap in to the Bro Code.
Get your love when I know who gets your love.